Welcome to part 3, where we begin some of the body preparatory work. Right, that was just the smooth surfaces, front and back, a little bit on the sides, and the end. I'm going to do this by hand also. I have to go get some loose sandpapers and do some work with that. I've got a couple of soft sponge like this. I think they're about 320. I don't really know for sure, but that's a 320. They feel very similar. I've also got a 400. So we're going to do a little bit of this, because on the inside here I see a tiny little bit of dirt. Probably something you can't see in the... Yeah, there you go. Just that little piece of dirt right there. See if that can be done with the sponge. Okay, I found a little divot right here. I'm just going to try to smooth it off with that. It's got a 120, a used 120, so I don't want to be too aggressive with it. See what we can do. It's going to make some noise. Okay, that worked out pretty good. I can see it visually, but it's not as deep as it was. And it's fine. The ends are quite porous. They could probably do with a bit of wood, a putty. I might think about it. But yeah, that's just the surface area. Okay, and then I've already put the CA glue on the inside of the sharp edges, and I wanted to just touch that up with something like one of those temporary nail files. And I thought I had something like that around here, but I don't see it right off. I'll have to go to the other bench. Alright, so I've got one of these, and I've got one of these which have sponge in the middle. I used to use these on frets. Alright, let me get the good glasses on so I can get a close-up look. I also brought my homemade tools from Telecaster #1. There's just a little bit of a, hairs hanging off the edge of that. The other side's okay, except I got some extra glue hanging off the corner. Now it's good. Okay. Now the pocket. Is a pocket. Needs just a little bit of touching up. and that's why I brought these over. I got an 80 there, a 180 here, used 180, newer piece of 180, tiny piece of 80 that I usually use to go inside the back of the pocket like that a little bit, just to get any burrs off. I used to have a piece on the top too that used to help me with that, but it fell off. Not as important as the surface. I got 180 on both sides, and this is bare to run along here, so it doesn't do any damage there. The switch in the bottom is going to end up being somewhere along this area. It just needs a tiny little bit out of there. And what else? And what else? And what else? Well, yeah, here we're going to need to play with some of these parts. Okay, I'm going to have to unmount this, I think, unless I can, maybe I can use it as a trial. Right now, and see where that goes. How good are these holes, huh? Not bad. Not that bad, not that bad. Yeah. Can't even get it in. Can't even get it in. Okay, so I have to unmount that. Stand by. Right, so I took the, I took that one off. I put my blade on here and just to see where it's off a little bit, and it looks like around this corner, along this corner, up here, so I think, yeah, maybe that should just be shaved back a little bit all along, and then what? And then what? If I get that, yeah, so here, and then just along here, could just take a little bit all off around this edge. Not to do that much damage at all, and then I might just get it in there. Okay. Now look at, here's a bridge Telecaster. Look at this thing. Must be a foot long. It's now an eco bar with the blades. A little bit of glue on that. I'll have to take that off. Okay. And I also want to take off these things and put on the brass ones. So I'm going to do that off camera, and we'll get back. Trying to take the bottom out of this with the smaller handheld one, but it was going to be more freehand. I couldn't get this to work properly along the edges. Neither the tall one nor the short one looked like it would work very well freehand. So I got out the big hammerhead and I set the depth to the holes that they made in the bottom over there. which doesn't go through all the way. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking maybe I set that too deep. So just let me try something. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I was right to begin with, so we'll turn on the vacuum. I'm going to put another earplug in. This is a very quiet machine. The vacuum makes more noise. And wish me luck. Okay. It's so subtle, I don't even know if you're going to be able... Oh yeah, you can see it. Not much. And as it turns out, this control panel that I have is 34 millimeters wide, which is a Fender spec. Metric is 32, and therefore that's why it won't fit the surround of my pickguards. Yay hey. Alright, let me check this. See if I have to go a little bit deeper, or is it good? Yep. Okay, that's good. That clears. Just that much. An iota. So I will have to rebuild a new panel when it gets here. I don't know if these are 5s or 250s, but I'm going to use 500s because that's what I like. For the humbucker in there, and the TFA 65 fat pole works good with the 500. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'll just rebuild the whole panel with the right parts when it gets here. Okay, so the next trick is trying to get around here. Now this one, I'm not sure. This is kind of big, this machine, to do such delicate edge work. It's very stable, that's exactly where it would need to be. Actually, just a little bit up from there. Okay, that's full bottom, and I need it to be just a little bit above that, like that. Then I need to be able to shave around these corners, just a tiny little bit. The light is not that great with the vacuum cleaner on it. Which way does this turn? Yeah, so it's got to go backwards. I'm going to give it a shot. Going to give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? Never ask that question. Sometimes you don't want to know the answer. All right. We're going to give it a shot. Here we go. I'll speed this up. That way if I screw it up, it won't look as bad. made some dirt on my top from the bottom of this thing, which I guess I should have cleaned out. And now, let's see if it's any better. It's always good to tape those up, trying to get them through holes. Because it's easy to pull off afterwards. Okay, how did we do? Where do we need to fix? Oh, it's really, really, really close. What's it hitting? Oh. Oh shit. They did it again. The wire hole between here and there is too high in the cavity. It's like way up at the top. Up there. And then when you try to get the pickup down inside, it hits it. And it doesn't go down. Damn. Another thing I gotta do is get that hole a little bit wider so that the wire can go lower. No, didn't expect that. But there's always an unexpected. There's always an unexpected. So you just gotta roll with the punches and make a plan. Apparently, at some point in time, I found in my stash of tools long bits. A brad bit, which is good for starting the hole because the point doesn't let it slip. And then once you get it started, then you go back in with this one and get her all the way through there. And now I'm able to lower the wire in that cavity, and that'll give me some height adjustment. Yay! So all I gotta do now is clean that up. Now that I can get this pickup in the hole, it has clearance, not that much though, and it seems like I could probably make a little bit more clearance around here. That'll give me a little bit of wiggle room that way. Yeah, what about that? So this straight, that straight, that was okay. It's basically okay down in the corner and right along here. Still along here. This is still the most interesting spot, I think. And maybe a little bit around there at the top as well. So that means more noise, more hammerhead, and gotta put these in, and I'm not gonna bore you with it this time. Right, so I went beyond just the regular hole. I took my tapered drill bit on an extension that I have, and I put it down in there, and I took this picture to make that hole a little bit bigger so that the wire will sit lower in the hole on this side. I don't care about the other side. It is lower on the other side anyway. But now even this larger GFS noiseless pickup can sit pretty low. In the hole. So yeah, I might be able to do it a little bit lower yet. There's a metal shard. But I'm thinking about how to do it. I'm wondering, could it be done with this one? You know, maybe I can pull that off of there and see if I can get it a little bit lower still. Just like this. Very carefully. And it's a flex. And I don't want to bugger this up. And what I'm going to do is put something right on the edge to protect it. And what is it going to be? What is it going to be? I think it's going to be my cardboard that I usually use to do some soldering with. Because the lower I can get that wire to go, the more accurate height adjustment I can get. And now the cave is even bigger. Let's see. Let's just see. That goes so easy. Yeah, that's good. I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough of adjustment. And the corners are a little bit better now that I use the router again. It's going to be all a matter of the bridge positioning next. Now on the bridge, which is here, okay, I'll put one brass saddle on there. Just as a placeholder, I was just testing. And I told you it was one hole bigger back here than the rest of them, and I think that's because I opened that some time ago just to see if I could do it, and that will give me better clearance for the string that comes through here, not to be resting on that, and also to use it as a template to drill the holes through the body. Once I can get this on with the right position and drill the holes in to hold it down, then I can use those holes in there with my drill press to drill the holes through the body, which I believe I still have a problem with not having a bit long enough to go through the body. The body is feeling really smooth now with only the what I assumed was a 320. This is good now. This little lip that was there, not there anymore. The hand sander took care of that right quick. So it's still, do I go ahead and try to fill in all these little porous holes? Can you see them? Yeah. Or leave them there as just character, because I don't want it to be super slick. I want it to be looking kind of like it's you know, put together Partscaster. What I haven't done is try to weigh this. Give me a sec.